So let's just go ahead and come up with something just using the examples that we had last time. So let's say it's love, but let's say it's like the emotion is bitterness. Somebody give me some adjectives for bitterness.
My mother. Sour.
Good.
What?
Not octopus. Maybe words could be revenge. Maybe I'm feeling really angry. Oh, angry. What else? No. Anybody else? Something that makes a regret, maybe? Maybe even some fear is involved there. Okay, so then artistic challenge is usually the media that you're going to use or something that you're going to do specifically. So maybe I know that I want to go into this with like ballpoint pen. I could put ballpoint pen and color pencil, whatever. Whatever you want to use or do is over here. Or maybe you want to, whatever. It doesn't have to be. So I'm just going to write a little bit about how I feel about love. I feel like this because I broke up with him, but now I regret it, and I'm wondering why he couldn't have treated me different, and I blah-de-blah-de. I feel like breaking up with him. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just made this up. All right? Hopefully you have real feelings and real emotions. So now at this point, we have like the intention. This is the contemplation, right? I'm thinking about it. Now I want to think about this emotion and think about what colors could go with bitterness.
Yellow. Pink.
Yellow. What else?
Red.
Red for sure.
Like really like.
Maybe black.
Probably like green.
Ooh, like a gross green.
Ugly colors.
So we'll just put ugly here.
Yes.
Okay.
Ugly.
So now I'm thinking about how I'm feeling. I'm thinking about what I've written, and I'm thinking about some of these words here. And I want to come up with images that could relate to it. So people right off the bat, I could be in it myself. It could be a self-portrait. But if I don't want to be in it and I don't want to draw myself and make it that personal, maybe I could use some symbolism and use an animal that represents me. Either a tiger or maybe a panda.
Octopus?
I am not an octopus. Wrong answer.
Oh.
So maybe I'm a deer in this situation because I feel hesitant. Does that make sense? I'm thinking about my emotions and what animals could work for it. I don't think that I'm necessarily, well, the tiger is the anger for sure. Shh, listen. So now I'm thinking, where can I find a deer? What are some places that maybe I could put? Maybe in the forest. That's really obvious. But maybe I want to put it somewhere you don't naturally see it. Maybe it's in an ocean. Oh, a city. The freezer. Oh, no. Oh, this just got deep. Oh, my goodness. A lot of anger there.
You put it in the middle of the road.
In a road. That's good. All right, now I'm thinking what objects could be there. I'm talking about heartbreak, and oh my goodness, I get so many kids putting arrows in their work. But that's okay, even though that's been done before, it's cliche. It might build me to somewhere else. Maybe there's an Uzi. How do you spell Uzi? I don't know. What else could be an object in this scene? Yeah, go ahead.
Like the deers on the road in a car.
In a car, that's a good one.
Like broken windshield. Yeah.
Maybe there's like, maybe she's feeling like restrained is what I'm thinking. Maybe there's like rope or chain
In the freezer.
in the freezer. Maybe it's saran wrap. Ew, saran wrap. Oh, this just turned into a murder scene. All right, so now I've got some images. Does that make sense to everybody? So now when I'm flipping it over, and I kind of went over kind of like the obvious things. What are some love symbols?
Heart.
I could do hearts.
Data.
Data?
No.
Oh, Jada. Jada, Sadie needs you. What's something else that has to do with love? Like letters?
February.
Yeah, so Valentine's.
You need to put arrows, but like. Octopi.
No.
Why do we keep going to octopi? Anyway, let's keep going. Okay. So let's start. Whenever I'm starting with a composition, I always start with the most cliche thing in the world. Shh, listen up. So this is usually what I get out of kids, and I think I told you guys, my heart is broken. But that's okay. Just draw it, and it might turn into something. I don't know why, but I always get wings on these as well from students and teardrops. I get this art, this exact same art Every year. I get it every year. Even though I do this in front of everyone, I get it stinking every year from multiple kids.
I'm sorry.
I apologize for everyone as well.
That's all.
So in this one, I start though with the cliche. Everybody following me? It's okay to start there. Sometimes that gets you working. So now I'm going to rework this. What can I do with this heart? Well, we said we wanted a deer. Maybe I could take the deer. I don't know how to draw a deer, you guys. Maybe the deer is warped and is restrained in like this is the body. It is a little bit sad. And maybe is levitating in this city. There's a whatever. You guys know what I'm saying? So now you guys see it? It's in the city. It's right in the middle. Maybe I like where I'm headed with this, but this is kind of cliche in the composition as well. It's one big thing right in the middle. Does that make sense? How can I change the composition to be a little bit more interesting? Maybe I go to a vertical one, and maybe I put the heart deer that's all chained up and wrapped up. There's his little deer tail and his little deer hooves. And maybe he's over there, and maybe the city looks a little bit more close. Maybe there's birds flying through, whatever. Okay? Maybe it's up in the air. Now I'm kind of going to this air. Maybe this bird man thing, this beard, rule of thirds, this deer thing is here, and we're in the clouds. Do you guys see? I'm just making this up as I go, but I'm getting ideas. Does that make sense to everybody? This is the deer thing. This isn't just like a cliche heart. Okay?
It doesn't look like a deer.
Well, it would if I drew it. I don't know what a deer looks like. But he's like all wrapped up, like restrained. Whatever. All right, does that make sense to everybody? At this point, let's say that I've got one that I love. Which one do we like the most?
The one that looks like the Emperor's New Groove.
I don't know which one that is. The first? No.
Yeah. No, I mean the second one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say we go with this one. Now what I've got to do, kids, I have to bring it to Miss Smith, and Miss Smith will be like, fix this, do that, whatever. You'll get great advice because I'm stellar at my job. You will get a stamp, okay? All right, at this point that you get a stamp, now you're on to the proof, all right? So what I want to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to trace my paper so that I know that I have exactly the right shape. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use this blue pen and trace my page, make sure it's in there real good, and there is my proof paper, okay? I can mess this up a bazillion times. Now, I think it's very obvious at this point that I have no idea how to draw a deer. Does that make sense? So guess what I gotta do?
Learn how to draw deer.
I gotta Google a deer. Just look at my face. There we go. So I'm gonna go into Pinterest. I'm going to look up a deer. Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. But you guys get the point, right? So then I'll take my pencil, and I will just start with basic shape. I'm going to decide how big do I want this deer? What do I want in this city? What kind of city is it? What's some options for cities? I don't know. Maybe it's like an old town, like,
Road.
yeah, that. Like, what is that called? Like a...
I'm gonna take Clyde or Old Town Road.
Yeah, like the dueling city. What is those? A ghost towny thing.
Someone already said that. I said that.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't know what we were talking about. But at this point, I'm gonna actually draw legit. So maybe there's like a whatever. What are those called? A porch, because that's what they used to have back in the day.
People still have porches.
Well, I know, but not downtown. And maybe it's got like whatever, this is a roof right here. And I'm going to actually draw it. I'm going to use some references. I'm going to get it exactly how I want it. So let's say that I actually did figure out what a deer looks like. I don't know what a deer looks like. I know they have a cute little
They have
tail.
a snout.
There you go.
They look like Joe.
Do better than me. There's her hoof, and there's her other hoof, and there's her back hoof.
Ew. I actually want to see it.
Do you see it? It's just, you guys, this is the best I got without a reference.
Pants on.
Is everybody seeing how important a reference is right now?
Yeah.
Why is there pants
Oh,
on
it's
it?
gross. It's not pants. It's like.
And maybe like even her mouth is like roped to her.
No.
whatever. It's getting more and more. But she's like the shape of this heart. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Okay, let's say that looked good. It doesn't, but let's pretend that it did. Okay? And maybe there's like a shadow underneath her that is like a heart shape so that I can see it. Okay? Maybe there's some desert. Okay. Now, at this point, I have my perfect proof. Wow. Do better than me. Does everybody understand how important it is to do better than me?
Wow.
Okay? Yes, Cassie.
Put a fire underneath it.
Oh, she's got a fire.
Boom! Because then it looks like it's being cooked.
She's getting cooked. I like it. Whatever. Okay. So this is the goal today, is to get your proof for your first page. Shh. Is everybody understanding what's going on here? Our goal is to get this proof for this today. How many of you need to get something stamped off today? You're a little bit far behind. That is due today for A grade. So make sure that you have at least 3 thumbnails and you have the front side figured out. And it really, you guys, it does help me if you can highlight the things that you're interested in, and that way I don't have to read it all when you come over here. Does that make sense? Any questions from me today? How many of you guys feel 100% like you understand what is expected of you today? How many of you feel like you understand it, but you're a little hesitant still? Okay, so just jump in. That's the best way. All right, we're done. I am open for...